Fingers crossed. Okay, we're going to start off with some introductions. So,
how's it going? My name is Xander Wells. I'm a third-year double majoring in finance and psychology. I'm currently serving on the executive team of Men for Mental Health. We're in our second year as an organization, coming off of a weird COVID year and some fifth year we started the organization that unfortunately had to go on to graduate. So we are really ambitious about this year being back in person. We're really trying to make some of those difficult conversations amongst men just a little bit easier when it comes to mental health and some of those deeper topics. And we try to facilitate that through two separate avenues. The first is by bringing in professional speakers, so authors, therapists, psychologists, people that have background in the field to share their resources and stories. And the second is through a fun approach, so things like going to get pizza, kickball, and Sigma, things like that, to where the guys in the group can actually make friendships and hopefully have somebody to open up to if they ever need to. Thank you all for having me. We're really excited to be here.
all right, thank you. Okay, and then I'm Cole. I'm the Elimination of Prejudice Coordinator for Pylon Defy, which means that I am in charge of running our week of events each semester that focus on reducing stigma, promoting new ideas, and reducing misconceptions related to critical topics. Okay, so first section is going to be discussion of basics. What is mental health?
So I think when someone asks me what mental health is, there's a lot of different things that flow into it. Obviously, a lot of people tend to jump right to mental illnesses, so depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, things along those lines. But I really do feel like it's an all-encompassing topic. Obviously, there are those things, but there's so much more that goes into it. You look at how to maintain your mental health when you're competing at a high level, whether it's in competition, in the classroom, when you're looking for jobs, things like that. It might be mindfulness, practicing deep breathing, yoga, different types of meditation skills to help bring yourself back to center, or really anything that helps make you in the best headspace to go about your daily life, whether that's just simple conversations with friends, a simple hello in the hallway, or things that might be a little bit more meaningful, like those deeper conversations about what you're going through. I think there's a lot of things that flow into it, and that's really what I'm trying to help bring to the surface with this discussion.
Oh, that was a great answer, thank you. What are some things that contribute to mental health?
I think mental health is very multifaceted, as I touched on a little bit. And one thing that I think is really important to note is that everyone experiences mental health in different ways. And that is one thing if you look at those mental illnesses. So just because one person has depression and another person has depression, you're not going to go about those depressive episodes in the same way. No different than a bad day for me might look different than a bad day for you. And when it comes to those different things, I feel like, I'm sorry, I got off track a little bit.
You're good.
What contributes to mental health? Yeah, absolutely. So those things, I feel like it can be a lot of internal as well as external factors. So pressure on yourself, whether it's wanting to please the people around you, make everyone happy, or just wanting the very best out of yourself at all times, or some external pressures, whether that's professors wanting you to push yourself, parents that really want you to do your best in everything that it comes to, maybe from a coach, a pastor, a significant other who might be a little bit overbearing. I think a lot of those different things can play into one's mental health, and ultimately they can all accumulate into a point where you might need to reach out for help at some point. And hopefully you're equipped with those resources, and we can help equip you with those resources to help overcome and get through that.
Okay. A very easy question. Does mental health promotion require a specific diagnosis?
Absolutely not. I do not think by any means mental health promotion requires a diagnosis. I think something that's really profound to me is that pretty much everyone has been impacted by mental health, either personally or by someone close to them. And that could be as simple as just having a rough day where you might have gotten a bad grade on a test. You might not have won the game of Madden with your roommate. Things like that kind of pile up and put you in a bad mood. In some ways, that is mental health. It's not as severe as some people, but it still does contribute to it. And I think recognizing that people go through mental health, and ultimately everyone has mental health, not everyone has mental illness. And realizing that is a really good way to recognize that it's able to be promoted by anyone, regardless of a diagnosis.
Thank you. For some differences in men, how does depression present differently in men?
I think the big thing that separates men and women and how they handle depression and most mental illnesses is their willingness to open up and admit that they might not be okay. I know in men, mental toughness is preached. There's toxic masculinity is a topic that is frequently discussed. And when depression is present in men, a lot of times it's not as outwardly evident in the way they communicate their feelings. It flows more into their actions. It might be losing patience more quickly. It might be aggressive outbreaks, things like that. And ultimately, those things that contribute to men not communicating their feeling are the very things that we're hoping to break down and ultimately make people feel more comfortable talking about.
Okay. And then how prevalent are mental health issues within the male population?
I think it's really notable. So 1 in 5 people struggle with some sort of mental health concern. And then when you look at suicides in the college age population, 34% of all suicides that occur are college age males. And I think that really goes to show that it is something that is extremely prevalent. And this group of people that we're with here today, whether it's you going through it, your roommate, someone in your class that you might have never spoken with, there's likely going to be someone that you come across in your daily life that is having some serious thoughts or some serious depressive ideals. And it's always one of those things, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. So you should definitely approach people with a friendly nature and try to do the best you can to recognize that they might be going through something and try to support them in the best you can.
Okay. I think it's very important. If your brother, your friend, your classmate was struggling, would you want to know? For most people, that answer is yes. Other people feel the exact same way about you. So there's no reason to suffer in silence because help is out there. Okay. We start moving on to our PowerPoint presentation. So how does mental health present and affect men differently? Depression can present as anger or poor mood rather than withdrawal or sadness. 30% of men will experience a depressive episode sometime in their life. Men are less likely than women to pursue treatment and counseling for mental health issues and crises. 90% of individuals diagnosed with schizophrenia before the age of 30 are men. 1 in 5 men will develop alcohol dependency, and men are 2 to 3 times more likely to abuse drugs and other substances. 62,000 men die each year due to alcohol-related causes. Men are less likely to show hints that they're considering or having thoughts of suicide, and 6 million men are affected with depression every single year. How does mental illness and how do mental health crises present in the general population? Just for comparison, I want to take this one.
Absolutely. So when you look at the general population, it is a little bit different than how it appears in males. Just some common examples or warning signs include change in mood, difference in work performance, changes in weight, sadness, feelings of hopelessness, anhedonia, and physical symptoms. Some of the physical symptoms are headaches, GI issues, fastened heart rate, high blood pressure, lower immunity, and chronic fatigue. And then just for those of you who may not know, anhedonia is loss of pleasure, pulling away from things that used to cause enjoyment, the sort of distancing yourself from some of those things that people really care about and really provide you joy in your day-to-day life. Risk factors for some of these mental health crises include social isolation, substance abuse, unemployment, trauma, a genetic disposition, and multiple diagnoses that have already occurred. And then when you look at the college population, up to 44% of college students have symptoms of anxiety or depression. 30% of students have felt depressed in the past year. 50% have reported feeling overwhelmingly anxious, and 74% of individuals diagnosed with a mental illness have symptoms present by the age of 24. So it really is something that has a large impact on the people around you and the people on this campus.
What are some coping mechanisms that can help manage your symptoms? Keeping a normal routine, ensuring that you're getting adequate hydration, nutrition, and rest, taking a short break from studying and current assignments, meeting up with friends and family, and exercise can help too. If these coping mechanisms aren't enough, or your symptoms are interfering with your everyday life and activities, please speak with a professional, a peer, a family member, a teacher, or another trusted individual. What resources are available on campus?
So we are very fortunate to have numerous resources on UC's campus that are geared specifically toward college-age students. One that many of us have probably heard of is CAPS, or Counseling and Psychological Services. It's an on-campus university department that offers both in-person and online services. Includes a 24-hour crisis hotline, numbers pictured on the screen, And they also offer free 30-minute sessions, up to 3 of group therapy and online resources. And within the CAPS department, there also is a 24/7 psychiatric emergency ward that accepts walk-ins at any time of the day if it's a point where you feel like you cannot go on anymore without in-person care. Looking at other groups that are on campus, Women Helping Women, Campus Advocates, WHW, an on-campus group that was founded to support the empowerment of all survivors of sexual violence, dating violence, and stalking. Their services are not limited to just female students. So if you are a male, if you are someone who is gender fluid, they are more than welcome to help you as well. And they want to make sure you feel supported at all times. Their 24-hour call and text line is noted on the screen here, and their office is in 559 Stager, right here on campus. And the last group, a little humble plug, Men for Mental Health here, the student organization that works to counter the stigma regards to men's mental health and create a safe and welcoming environment that provides tools to help individuals manage their own mental health. I know I've shared my contact information with Cole. That will be available after the meeting to anyone that might want to hop on a meeting, wants to reach out and chat with me. And another note, similar to WHW, Men for Mental Health is not limited to only males. We hope that some of the resources that can be used here might be able to help a friend, a brother, a boyfriend, anyone in your life that's going through something.
Thank you. And then we also have resources that are available online or by the phone. We have helplines, free resources, self-paced apps. These are all available to UC students dealing in crisis or just dealing with everyday stressors. These include therapy assistance online and Reach Out UC. These two are both promoted by Counseling and Psychological Services on campus. TAO is a free self-paced program to help with daily challenges related to mental health, and Reach Out was actually created by UC. It's a free app comprised of resources. These are related to warning signs, risk factors, and where to get help. Resources include information, videos, and more. Other resources available online include the Depression Projects. The handle @RealDepressionProject on Instagram features symptoms, coping mechanisms, and testimonies from those who experience mental illness. And the Defensive Line is a project formed to address the epidemic of suicide by both young people and people of color. Started by defensive lineman Solomon Thomas of the Las Vegas Raiders, this organization works with both adults and younger individuals. And available over the phone.
Looking at the resources that you can reach out to over your phone, a great one is the Trevor Project Lifeline. It offers 24/7 support for LGBTQIA and any other individuals from the teen to young adult range that are in crisis. Support is offered over the phone at the number pictured on the screen, over web chat, or via text. And all you have to do is text START to that 678 number. Another awesome one close to home is the Talbot House Crisis Line, 24/7 support for individuals experiencing suicidal thoughts, psychological crises, marital relationship conflict, bereavement, and personal emergencies. And those numbers are on the screen there, or you're able to text Talbot to 839-863 for immediate assistance. And then the last one, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, Southwest Ohio, or NAMI, offers crisis counselors that can be reached 24/7 by texting NAMI to 741-741. The information and referral hotline is pictured there as well. And additionally, NAMI offers support sessions and classes for those experiencing mental illness and those who know them. And in regards to NAMI as well, the next Men for Mental Health meeting on November 17th will be welcoming NAMI if anyone's interested in attending and getting to meet some representatives in person.
Okay, we did create 2 handouts using the resources that you provided and ones available through UC. These will be distributed to the different RAs on campus and different offices like the Women's Center, the LGBTQ Center, the AACRC, in order to increase our campus impact. Okay, here are our sources, and then just a little bit about EOP. The big quote for the EOP Foundation is, "The Elimination of Prejudice Foundation creates long-lasting community changes by addressing the underlying differences between people that prevent progress. By setting the conditions for sensitive societal conversations to take place, the foundation promotes a better understanding among people." And then to access recordings and resources from both this semester and our previous semesters, you can scan either that QR code or visit our link tree, which is linktr.ee/PLPOMU. Okay, and then tomorrow we do have our bystander intervention meeting with It's On Us UC, another student-led organization. This one is particularly important because with in-person events and parties coming back this semester, it is more important than ever to know how to intervene in, recognize, and prevent potentially harmful situations. Learn about resources both on and off campus for survivors and those who know them. Okay, do you guys have any questions?
I don't think so. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.